So in Yagi-Uda antenna, when we compare the current associated with the in the reflector with respect to the driven element, the current in the reflector will be lagging as compared to the current which is present in the driven element. And in the similar way, the current in the directors will be leading as compared to the current which is present in the driven element. Now, due to this, what happens is the reflector part acts as a inactive inductive region, and the director part acts as a inactive capacitive region. So therefore, what we can do is we can represent this in the circuit form, wherein a reflector will be acting as an inactive inductive region, and capacitor and the director will be acting as an inactive capacitive region. Now this element driven element will be acting as a resistive element. So based on this, if we just observe, we have the RLC circuit. So whenever we have RLC circuit, we try to analyze its frequency response. So in this case, we can just try to see what the association of current, that is the current versus frequency at which the antenna is operating. So if we consider that and try to analyze, we observe that the radiation will be happening at one specific frequency, which is the resonant frequency. And generally at resonant frequency, we have very high output from the antenna. And if the frequency goes below resonant frequency, the reflector part resonates. And if the frequency goes above resonant frequency, the director part resonates. So this is what we can observe in a Yagi-Uda antenna. So now let us have a look at the few applications associated with the Yagi-Uda antenna. So whenever we consider a Yagi-Uda antenna, we have seen in the previous days wherein we used to see the antennas which are utilized with the television. So those antennas basically were the Yagi-Uda antenna. So therefore Yagi-Uda antenna found its major application in TV broadcasting applications. Then apart from that, if we observe the beam efficiency associated with the Yagi-Uda antenna, we have a very good beam efficiency. That is the major lobe beam area to ratio of major lobe beam area to the minor lobe beam area. That is the back lobe, what we are considering over here. It is excellent for the Yagi-Uda antenna. So in any applications, if we look for this ratio to be very good, in such applications, we can utilize Yagi-Uda antenna. Then let us have a look at what are the disadvantages associated with the Yagi-Uda antenna. There are two major things what we can note down. That is the bandwidth associated with the Yagi-Uda antenna is very less or very small. So this is one major drawback, that is we cannot operate this antenna over a larger bandwidth. So its bandwidth is very short. Then apart from that, if we have to increase the directivity, we can increase the number of directors. But due to physical limitations, I cannot keep on increasing it to a very large number. So that is another problem. So because of which the physical aspects also plays a major role in its disadvantage. So these are the two aspects what we can observe in a Yagi-Uda antenna. Now let us have a look at the design considerations which are associated with Yagi-Uda. So now for the 6-element Yagi-Uda antenna, what we have discussed. So we observe that there are different lengths which are associated with each of the parameters. That is the reflector, driven element, and the director. The length of the reflector is given by 152 divided by frequency. And this frequency is represented in megahertz. So in this equation, we'll be utilizing the frequency in terms of megahertz. So that is if I have a frequency of say 10 gigahertz. So I first need to convert this one into megahertz. So it is 10 into 10 raised to 3 megahertz. So in this equation, what I do is I substitute 10 into 10 raised to 3. So then I obtain what will be the length of the reflector. So I have to utilize this value by representing the frequency in megahertz. Now similarly, if we just look at the what will be the length of the driven element, the length of the driven element is given by 143 divided by f. Again, frequency is in terms of megahertz. Length of the director, since there are four directors, there are four different lengths which are associated. Now if you observe in the Yagi-Uda antenna, what we can see is the director which is present very close to the dipole is larger compared to the directors which are further from the driven element. So as we move, keep on moving, that is, as we increase the distance, as we keep on increasing the distance, we observe that the length of the driven directors keeps on reducing. So that you can observe from the diagram over there. So therefore, if we observe the lengths, right, we can obtain the length of the first director element as 137 divided by frequency. Second driven director is 133 divided by f. Third director element is 130 by f, and fourth director element is 126 by f. So if we just observe, there is very slight difference in the lengths what we observe for the directors. So all four directors, when we try to measure, there is very slight difference in associated with each of the lengths. So and the frequency what we are specifying, it is again, it should be in the megahertz range. So what should be the spacing between the reflector and the driven element? It is given by 75 divided by f. So here we have a reflector. Here we have say the folded dipole or the driven element, and here we have the directors. Sorry. So if you just observe the diagram, so what should be the spacing between these two? What should be the spacing between these all elements as compared to the driven element? So if we observe over here, what we have is the spacing between the reflector and driven element is 75 divided by f, whereas the spacing between the driven element and the director is 93 divided by f. So now let us solve a problem associated with its design, and let us see what design considerations we have over here. So we need to design a Yagi-Uda antenna which is having 6 elements. So in the 6 elements, it will be one reflector, one driven element, and 4 directors. So it is to provide a gain of 12 dB. So it provides a gain of 12 dB. If the operating frequency is 200 megahertz, so you need to design this Yagi-Uda antenna. Then it is specified that sketch the radiation pattern. So this radiation pattern, when we consider, right, there are no other parameters which are specified for the antenna which we are discussing over here. So therefore, what we can do is we can just consider that Yagi-Uda antenna is a unidirectional antenna in which what happens is we will be having a maximum radiation happening in along one direction. And there might be the side lobes which are associated with this. So this is how the radiation pattern will be appearing for the Yagi-Uda antenna, what you consider. So based on the given parameters, let us design the Yagi-Uda antenna. So frequency is mentioned as 200 megahertz. So f in megahertz is 200. So it is the value what you have to consider. You have to represent it in megahertz. Anyway, that is already represented in megahertz. So we need to just consider the value over here. So now if we try to identify the length based on the equations what we have discussed, so the length of the reflector turns around for the given frequency, it turns around 0.76 meters. Length of the driven element is around 0.715 meters. Then length of the first director is 0.685. Length of the second director is 0.665. And length of the third director is 0.65 and length of the fourth director is 0.63. So if we just look at the lengths of the directors, there is hardly much difference in each of these cases. So just a difference of say around 0.01 or 0.02 is present between each of the director elements. Now let us see what should be the spacing. Spacing between the reflector and the director is 0.375, and whereas for the driven element and the director is 0.465. So now let us see how the antenna will be designed. So here we have the reflector whose length is 0.76, and we have the driven element whose length is around 0.71 meters. Then next we have the length of the first director, which is around 0.685. Second one is around 0.665. Third one is around 0.65, and the last one is around 0.63 meters. Now, what is the spacing between reflector and the driven element? It is around 0.375 meters. Now, what about the spacing between the driven element and the first director? It should be around 0.465. Now, what about the spacing between the driven element and the second director? It should be twice that of this value. So it is 2 times 0.465. It is 0.465 and 465. So therefore you continue in this form, this way. The third element is thrice that of this. So that is distance between, or separation between, the dipole or the driven element and the third director is 3 times 0.365, and the separation between the driven element and the fourth director is 4 times 0.465. So these are the specifications what we obtain for the given frequency. So this is all for today. Let us meet in the next session, wherein we'll start off our discussion with respect to the two-port networks at microwave network theory. Thank you.